That's what I want to watch. What's going right?
Uplifting stories.
The good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
We hear you.
He's just so fluffy.
Your stories.
I love you.
How sweet is that?
Things that nurture my soul.
Focusing on greatness from across the country.
Oh my goodness.
So sit back and enjoy the lighter side of life.
I'm gonna grab some coffee.
Right here on Afternoon Focus.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Afternoon Focus. I'm Rob Nelson.
And I'm Julie Grant. Thank you for being with us on this Tuesday afternoon. So let's begin now the way we like to start our show every day, with the stories at the top of our feed. NASA is one of the world's leading space organizations, in space exploration, I meant to say, and they've gone above and beyond to prove that space is for everybody. Did you know that they have Braille-centered books? Look at this. They're designed to give the visually impaired a sense of what space looks and feels like.
Through these images from Hubble, I get a better understanding of what my classmates, what my friends are looking at when they go to museums. And it does allow me to question and say, well, why does this planet tilt in the way that it does?
Incredible.
Wow.
Just incredible.
I think space is a hard idea to get your head around. Even, like seeing it, or hearing about it, it's so hard to get, I think, your mind
sure.
around space.
Who's really been there?
You know what I mean?
Not many of us Americans, right?
Exactly. So if you're unfortunate enough to not be able to see, it must be just this incredible thing to be able to feel and try to get some sense of it, because it's hard even for those of us who can see to even get our head and eyes around what it really is all about. So those books kind of at least give a window into that world in a special way.
Yes,
yeah.
Beautifully done, NASA. Beautifully done. Very cool.
Well, on that same theme of accessibility, millions of Americans who suffer from hearing loss are now getting new access to life-changing devices. Huge story in the news this week, because starting this week, hearing aids will now be available over the counter at many of the largest retailers in the country without the need for prescriptions or medical exams, and on top of that, at dramatically lower cost. So it's a huge win for the 30 million Americans living with hearing loss, like this child from Louisiana, who was able to hear using a device, and he heard his mom's voice for the very first time. Take a look.
Hey, my big man, what are you doing? I can talk to you now, huh? Hey, is that funny? Is it so funny?
Oh, a little smile on that guy's face.
Rob.
Oh, and think about the number of people that impacts, 30 million, like we said, and if you dig into the numbers, it's only a fifth of those 30 million people actually get a hearing device. The rest say, I'm not going to waste my time, or it's too expensive, or I don't feel like going to the doctor. But now you can go to your Walgreens, CVS, Duane Reade, wherever, and get one.
Right.
Huge news.
It is. Everybody deserves to experience those precious moments if it's possible. I know sometimes it's not possible, and that is so heartbreaking. Yeah. But when it is, like for that little baby to hear his mother for the first, it just all the chills, all the feels, all the everything. My heart goes out to anybody experiencing hearing loss. It's
more
tough.
common than you think. 10%
it really is.
10% of the country.
I think we all know somebody or personally are experiencing it, and so
Absolutely.
To think that there are steps being taken to make sure there is accessibility, like you said, for everybody to be able to try to have that chance of hearing.
And the cost can be a few $1,000 now, for many a few hundred. It's a big step.
Goodness.
Well, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force has a new recommendation here, and we'll tell you about that. Kids 12 and older should be screened for anxiety and depression. Again, 12 and older. So to aid in the rise of these issues, new methods of coping are now emerging. And one example of that, and this is really cool, is horse therapy. These equine therapy programs aim to help heal through the power of a horse, like this ranch we're about to show you in Colorado. And Thomas Hoppa has the story.
garage, get all the dust off his back from the hay.
For me, horses were always a safe place for me. I grew up showing and riding and trail riding, and so they've always just been part of my life.
How old is he?
He is in his teens, right? Yeah.
This is Karis Youth Ranch, a place where broken horses come to heal.
She's an off-the-track thoroughbred, like a lot of our other horses.
On average, it's about 110 to 120,000 U.S. horses are sent to slaughter every year. And then we turned our focus to race horses. And then from there, we just began to, on a case-by-case basis, take in horses that didn't have anywhere else to go.
Tracy says the way all of these horses heal
He rolled, so he got a little messy.
is from the care and love.
We are a sanctuary for kids and horses, so that's what we try to provide through the programs. And just by nature of interacting with the horses and learning how to communicate with the horse and be a worthy leader to the horse, the kids will gain confidence. A lot of times that anxiety just, drops down, and it's almost something you can't quantify or explain.
I have anxiety, and being with the horses eases my anxiety a lot. It kind of just disappears into nothing when I'm with the horses.
Because of the increase in mental health disorders among teens, there are many places like Karis Youth Ranch letting it be known they are available to be outlets for teens and use their programs as a type of therapy to cope with their depression or anxiety.
They have laid a pretty strong foundation for me because each time I hang out with a horse, they're putting a brick on the wall, of me to be stronger and me to believe in myself more. So I think every horse I meet leaves an imprint on me because they're just so full of emotion and so full of feeling. I just love them.
Who knew?
I didn't. I really
didn't either.
didn't.
Yeah.
But the more you talk to pet people, the more you listen to stories like that, the healing effect of animals and pets, whether it's the dog in your house or the horse horses we just saw there, it is kind of remarkable that some people find such solace and healing in time with animals.
Right. It blows my mind. It absolutely does what animals can do. I'm such a big proponent of them, in the capacity, like we see those horses, the therapeutic capacity. Also, with law enforcement, when we think about what those canines can do, they can do things that human officers just physically cannot do. They can detect things that they cannot do through their senses. And so just incredible creatures we're blessed with on this earth, that's for sure.
It is true. And if you picked up on that story, the horses, instead of going to the slaughterhouse, they go to this facility.
Yeah, they're rescued.
And the people come there to work with the horses and get better. Like that woman said, it's a brick in the wall of my confidence that each time with the horse kind of puts another brick on that wall. So it's kind of like everybody there, the horses and the humans, are getting a second lease on life, which is kind of beautiful on both ends.
You're right, Rob. Yeah. It's a win all the way around for everybody there. Very cool. I bet more programs are going to emulate that. I bet we're going to be hearing more about this.
Absolutely.
I know it's a concern even in the little bit of volunteer work I do in the domestic violence prevention movement, the organization that I work with, they just helped place some horses, to get them into a safe place where victims needed to get away from their homes, needed to take the horses, so it's a concern, and they're apparently wonderful pets.
Yeah. Mother Nature heals all kinds of ways.
Yeah, she sure does. All right, so now what we want to do is turn to some fun stories that you just want to know, right? Okay, check this out.
It's like brain candy a little bit. On this day in 1985, I can't believe this, a family company, I should say, called Nintendo, saved literally the video game market in America. You know where this story's going. Nintendo released a small number of consoles and games in New York City retail stores. Among the games, Duck Hunt. Oh man, remember that?
I do remember Duck Hunt.
Oh, Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Later that year would come the ubiquitous Mario Brothers, and of course, the rest is video game history.
Oh, yeah, taking you back today. That was definitely my era, the Super Mario Brothers, playing that with my brothers.
Remember that?
I loved it.
Mario
Did you
Brothers,
like that one?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I remember that game. Oh, a whole bunch of them. And remember when the cartridge wouldn't work, which you did?
Oh, yeah.
Very high tech.
So right. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nowadays
man.
it's like what cartridge? You know, are we
Right.
swiping, tapping? You know,
different
removing,
time.
reinstalling. Yeah.
Simpler times, kids. It was simpler times back then. Nintendo 85. Wow.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna keep talking toys right now. Look at this.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Oh, we haven't heard that song in a long time, right?
I remember the song and that actual commercial. Sorry.
Toys R Us, get this, they're opening up pop-up shops inside Macy's stores all across the country. A little 80s nostalgia for all of us who grew up wanting to be a Toys R Us kid.
That's it.
Oh, the giraffe, he was so cute.
Jeffrey, wasn't that his
Yes,
name? Jeffrey the giraffe?
yes.
Oh, man. And as a kid, walking in Toys R Us was like walking into heaven.
Right.
You were like, this huge store full of toys.
Right.
Oh, it is amazing. That is, and people love nostalgia. I think old toys, old candy, old movie, vintage anything. There's always a sense of, there's always a sentimental thing there. And
Totally.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a favorite toy when you were a kid?
Anything like Hot Wheels, the miniature cars or the remote control cars, that was it for me.
Sure.
That was it. You?
Oh, yeah, Barbie. I'd have to say Barbie.
There you go.
Yeah, I like playing with Barbie dolls. Yeah. I wasn't smart enough to like keep them nice and collect them though.
They're worth a lot
play
now.
with them. Yeah, friends would come over. We play with them, dress them up, toss them around. Yeah. They're somewhere I think in my parents' basement, but they're a mess. I mean, they were outside and you know. Yeah, not like in the box and all collector's edition. No, like.
Mom saved all my Hot Wheels
Some rough-looking Barbies.
In the back, yeah. Barbie's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We're just warming up here on Afternoon Focus. We'll have a lot more coming up after this break. Stay with us.